All right, now
I
they can
can't
hear
see your
us.
face
You
though,
can't.
can
You don't
I?
need to see my face.
What?
It's
It's,
fine. I
you're
can go over
showing your
here.
face
We can do this.
to
I
the
am. I'm
public
showing my
though,
face to
aren't
the
you?
public.
Okay,
Oh
thank
yes, I am.
heavens. I was
Now I
about to
am.
say it can't just be
Oh
me.
wait, no. Let me push this. Sorry, we rotated. We rotated very slightly. There we go. Now we're using this nifty effect they do that lets us like make it look like our images are adjusting, abutting each other, like looking at each other. And we have a wonderful 0 viewers. So hello, YouTube friends. No, you're on the other side. You.
Oh really? Oh god, yes. No,
Yeah, yeah. You're on.
towards the door. No.
No, no, on the other side.
Oh,
I'm
perhaps
gonna
this
point.
way.
This is no. See, I'm
Hello.
even messed up. This is me pointing at you. I think I might have mirror imaged myself.
I think you're in the mirror
Oh, that's no good. So hello everybody. Hello YouTube friends, because you're
through
the
the
only ones
looking
watching
glass.
this. Our actual view count is right now 0, which is bad. We should
Mhm.
tell everyone. We should tell everyone that we're
Well,
streaming.
we're already. Yeah. No. Well, there you go. We've broken
Yeah.
all the records already
Are we?
of being the most boring people ever.
That's not true. We keep getting subscribers. I just told everyone that we're live. Where else should I broadcast this? Can you put it places? You should put it places.
No, I don't have anywhere to put it.
Nowhere?
Oh, let me have a look then.
We should get a couple viewers, get a couple people to pay attention to us, because otherwise it's a bit of an exercise in futility.
It is an exercise in futility, as
No,
most
no,
things are in this world.
no, because you know what's going to happen. This is going to go on YouTube.
I'm
And
not
the
even going to
next,
put the
like,
Mahjong channel. I'm just going to put it in the general channel because,
yeah, who cares? No one cares.
yeah.
They all love us. They all love us. In fact, it might be people out and about because we didn't let anyone know we were doing. Oh, we got 6.
It is true.
It now
It is
says
a
viewers
Saturday
6.
night. Welcome other people on Saturday
Hello,
night
friends.
who have
Yeah,
nowhere to go.
hot Saturday night mahjong. So either we got 6 hot Russian bots, or these are 6 actual viewers who care about us and love
See,
us.
I should do that weird MSMR stuff, and we'll get all the viewers there anyway.
So, whoa, what was that?
That was that weird thing that they do on the microphone.
No, don't. No, we're not doing creepy ASMR mahjong videos. ASMR is like American standard mahjong
Reality.
I don't know. I don't think we want to be doing that. That's not our scene. But
Really? Do you know what? If I make $1 million, I'm fine with it. I'll just disappear, and then you'd be like, "What was
you
that
kind
weird
of like
ass
whisper
girl?"
into the mic all sorts of creepy stuff, like you shouldn't have discarded that.
Sunshot is the way to go. I try to watch some of those last week, those videos, and I find them like I don't understand. Like obviously my brain's broken because I'm not getting this reaction that people are getting from them. You know,
Well, I also do not get anything out of it other than just feeling a little.
Well, I suppose because they're always like holding up some like cosmetic pot as well, going like, "Look at Nivea," and I'm like, "Is Nivea sponsoring you?"
Wait, are they? They might be.
It might, right? And I got to this like, you know, and maybe that's why, because I was concentrating too much on their tragic product placement.
I don't understand, and the amount of work. I mean, it's a huge amount of work. People think it's easy. I'm sorry if people are looking at me. I keep looking over to manage all the things, but like people think it's easy. It's really hard. If you want to be like a popular Twitch streamer, you got to be on like
YouTube,
12
Twitch,
hours
anything.
a day, and you're working. It's a lot of work, but they get sponsorships. People do give them money.
You know what though? Like you're gonna look back in 20 years and go like, was it worth it? I mean, I think that a lot about, you know, when I started Mahjong, I'm like, was it worth it?
Well, it's weird. Like the viewers are very demanding, and it always baffles me.
Heaven help you if you have a boyfriend.
Oh well, that's a separate issue.
That's just the ire of the internet.
But just like the amount you have to stream is so huge, and when you don't, they're like and all these streamers live in terror that if they take like a week off to just like not for 1 week, that they will lose a huge chunk of their viewership because they'll just be like, oh, I guess I'll watch someone else now, whatever. Because all these people are very like instant gratification. I want to watch now, and it doesn't matter.
And they keep talking about the algorithm. Like I was reading this article, I think it was on The Guardian today, actually. So it's a UK newspaper, but The Guardian. And he was saying like he started off as a successful YouTuber, and then he wanted to take like a couple of months out so that he could write the script. But he didn't feel he could stop, and he had to keep uploading videos, even though he was already working like 12 hours a day on this very creative, you know, because if he didn't keep uploading, then he'd lose his income, you know, and they're like, you get £3 per 1,000 views. And I'm like, 1,000 views, £3? Whoa. You know, they keep saying like for like, you know, indie developers and content creators, it's really good, but I don't see that. You know, you'd pay people better if it really was good for, you know, the small time.
No, it's good for YouTube. It's good for Amazon, who now owns Twitch, and I bet they're listening to me saying this and getting really mad that I'm pulling the curtain away from Amazon. Their garbage. But like, it's great for them because you have this infinite sea of people competing to produce content because they all imagine they'll get fame, and then the ones that make it to the top, and again, they're doing a lot of work. I'm not like disparaging the work they put in, but they make it to the top by doing constant work, and there's no consideration for them. It's just you work, and if you stop working, then maybe someone else will take your spot, and too bad.
The TLDR answer, conclusion to all of this is that the reason why we don't stream regularly is because
we're not making enough money off of it.
We don't want to burn out, and we're too busy organizing WRC.
That.
And Contron 5000, thank you very much. We are. I am still working hard. I'm a bit quiet at the moment, but I am.
It's
working hard in the background.
Months. But I think we can talk a little bit about what's been going on in these couple months. We got some interesting stuff.
I played an MCR event.
You went to an MCR event?
I played an MCR event.
Played MCR?
And I was really good at it, like genuinely
You're
good at it.
still alive? You played MCR and you didn't just wilt and shriek and...
Do you know what? I take some things back about what I said about the MCR community. Really? I don't know whether it was just that event, but there was quite a few newcomers because it was the first UK event. There was quite a few newcomers, and the ones who came obviously had their expectations that we were a bit kind of like didn't know what we were doing.
Ooh,
they were actually really kind. Like all of the people that said, you should be careful, that person's going to be nasty to you, la la la. And they followed the rules. They weren't playing Ricci stars. They weren't helping me score. But they were following the rules as they're laid out, and no one was. I didn't feel like they were being aggressive to me. I didn't feel oppressed. And I enjoyed it, and partly because I did well. I mean, if I hadn't done well, I probably would have walked away going, "Stupid game."
Well, that's good. I mean, it's true. It's true that there is a lot of rumors, and not rumors. Rumors sounds even more malicious, but it's general. Sometimes people say that MCR tournaments are very cutthroat.
Well, I mean, it's partly the game that encourages it, though. Like, I really did feel, it's very aggressive. Like, you can't think about. It's not like Ricci Mahjong where it's like a story, right? You start with your first hand, and then you play the first hand as the first hand that should be played, and then the fourth hand, depending on where you are, you're playing that as the fourth hand. But with MCR, you can just forget every hand that ever happened. But it's a whole. Every time you turn up your tiles, it's a whole new game, basically.
I like that.
So. Do you know, I was really kind of worried that, because they're long, it's longer than Ricci game. So I was kind of worried that I would become tired, because there's a lot of focus in Ricci. And sorry, MCR players, I apologize now, but I didn't find it quite as hard to focus at MCR.
Well, that sounds like a positive review. You were able to keep your focus the whole time. It was a little more relaxed of a game, a little less of like a... I'm not going to say like a grind, but like it can get pretty intense.
I mean, the scoring is the hardest thing, I think. But I started to get the hang of it. They do have some interesting hands. I'm not quitting Ricci anytime soon. I still think that if you want to, I'm not sure. I want to insult any MCR players.
Oh, don't. We can't afford to. We can't afford to do this.
I think the deeper game is in Ricci. There's a deeper game in Ricci. Just because you're playing the players in Ricci, whereas in MCR you're playing your tiles and your luck.
The statistics.
Yeah, and you could be lucky, you could be unlucky. I mean, and actually, we've had a lot of discussions in the community and between myself and yourself about duplicate Mahjong, and I did understand, having played an MCR event, why
it works for MCR.
Yeah, and I can see it will work. It will work for MCR, I think, because you are playing the tiles, right? So you can eliminate the luck from the tiles, right? Whereas Ricci, you applying duplicate, you're still playing the players. Whatever the tiles, you're still playing the players, and you can't make all the players the same.
A lot of table interactions going on there,
Yeah, so for MCR, I think that duplicate actually it'll be an interesting and successful
I can see that. I definitely could see that. If it's more about you and your hand, it could work. We played a game last night. It was one of my favorite games of Mahjong. But it was a great one. It was a great game of Mahjong. It was a game where, like, I think the second hand I got an enormous... No, it was the first hand I got an enormous sumo. And then I didn't have to do anything for the rest of the game. It was so dumb.
But were you playing red fives?
No reds. No
reds. Udadora?
I didn't get any.
Oh, you didn't? And you still got a massive sumo. It was Sanshoku involved.
Reach Sumo Pinfu Sanshoku Junchan.
Ooh, one of the best. Ooh.
And on a two-sided way, I got the right side of it. It was just, that's Baimon, and now Baimon. Like, I'm out. I'm not doing anything for the rest of the game. I'm sitting here. I'm just collecting save tiles, and you all fight it out, and like it was nice. It was nice.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could tell you about my Great Reachy games.
Why don't you tell me about all your Great Reachy games?
Do you know what? Yesterday was Yesterday was a good day.
Oh.
I won £25 in the premium bonds, which is some sort of government sanctioned gambling.
Premium bond.
So a premium bond, so let's say you've got £1,000 and you give it to the government, who then put it all into their big pot of money, and they have a machine that generates numbers, and if your number is picked, you win a prize. Unfortunately,
so that's a lottery.
It's a lottery, but it's not, because you can take £1,000 out at any time. It's a bond. It's a lottery bond.
So it's a bond that pays interest in the form of a lottery.
Exactly. It doesn't pay any interest. You only get money if your number is called. Right?
Huh.
Now, it's interesting because I've done far better as investments, quote unquote, on premium bonds than I have actual, savings accounts or anything like that. So I won £25, and I usually win about £50 to £75 a year on a fairly modest, premium bond investment, she says. Which is far better than the measly 0.01%.
But why do the gambling at all? Is it possible to win like a big prize? Is there like
there's two £1 million prizes.
Okay.
There's a couple of £50,000 prizes. And it's unfortunate because my mum and dad never win anything on the premium bonds. And I'm like, oh yeah, I want another mum.
I gotta be honest. I think that's actually really cool. That's so much better. I have a lot against the lottery.
I think it's better than the state lottery.
It's better than the lottery because it doesn't just take the money away. You're letting the state invest the money, and obviously they're making 4 or 5% probably on that money because they're investing it. But it's still yours. You didn't lose the money. The money's still yours, and that's so much better. My biggest problem with lotteries is that I feel like lotteries are like a tax on hope. Like you imagine maybe something good will happen, you give your money away to the state, and now it's gone.
Exactly. I mean, when you compare it to like the regular lottery,
I wonder if we could run a thing like that here. I wonder if it's a legal structure.
Adnight Hawk says withdraw and deposit those bonds repeatedly. Like your numbers can be called month after month. Like you just get assigned numbers.
Interesting.
Randomly, and they've been going for a long time. I think my mum inherited some premium bonds. But anyway,
so I won. Awful Windows chime, but I need to make sure it doesn't.
No. So I won on the premium bonds, and I was like, oh, today's a lucky day. And then I went to buy some glasses, and I went in and I chose the 2 pairs of glasses that I wanted, and it was already a really good deal. It was like buy one get the second half price. And I'm like, oh wow, my luck is still continuing.
Oh, that's great.
So I go up there and I'm trying to pay for the glasses, and then they said, oh, did you realize that you get another one free? Because for some reason I fulfilled some secret conditions they didn't tell me about when I started looking.
That's awesome, though.
I know, right? And I was like, damn. So then I got home and I was like, right, time to play some Mahjong. Let's test Nagare. Let's see if Nagare, as a theory, holds water.
Okay.
And first game, I got a Kokushimuso, so there you go.
What is this? What is this?
I bought some lottery tickets for tonight on the evil lottery, just in case, because if I win 15 million, I won't be seeing you guys anymore. I have to
note for Summer QM's benefit that neither Gemma nor I are certified investment advisors, and you should not use any of our advice.
No, do not.
As any kind of legitimate market insight or anything of the sort.
I live in a 2 up, 2 down with no car for a reason.
Please do not put your money into Bitcoin or anything like that. Science done. Kagakisha says science done to prove that it is real.
It's basically, it's no longer subjective observation. It's an objective fact.
It's an objective. Nagare is very real.
It's the most science I've ever seen in Mahjong.
Other exciting Mahjong stuff. I think we did not stream. Oh God, all money into Bitcoin. No, please, just don't. We have not streamed since before my great weekends, my 2 weekends of conventions, one right after the other.
Oh yes,
so
talk about your conventions.
I can talk a little bit about conventions. So we went to the royal we went to
I was about to say
Gen Con.
You and the voices in your head.
Well, no. I went to Gen Con with friends. Friendos went with me to Gen Con, and I taught a Mahjong lesson there. A small one. I wanted to do just one, see what it was like to teach at Gen Con. And we actually met, I actually have to send you their information, Gemma. We met a group of people from a game store in Iceland who've been playing Reach there for a long while.
That.
And they were really excited to meet other people who played Reach. And we taught, 4 or 8 people how to play. And it was really cool. It's a little tricky at Gen Con, we found. Like, it's a very big convention. Like, I think like 80,000 unique people there this time. And so they have a lot of space, but they don't really have Mahjong-specific equipment, so I'd really need to do a lot of effort schlepping all of our kit to Indianapolis. That being said, we had a lot of interest, which is cool. but I'm not sure how much I want to dive into Gen Con in terms of having a convention presence there because it's a little tricky.
So most of our audience probably know that you are regularly going to PAX
East, or have been regularly going to PAX East.
But you made a decision this year to not go to PAX East. Yes. Is this part of your going to conventions to see where your next convention home is?
Well, we are definitely going to be doing PAX Unplugged late this year because that's like the board game one, and we had a great time there as attendees the last time and felt like it would be very suitable for us. So that's definitely happening. But yeah, we're experimenting with some other conventions. We're seeing what we can do.
Because PAX Unplugged is basically the board game version now of
PAX East kind of wanted to push everything over to PAX Unplugged for board games and keep East to be mostly like video games and things like that.
And Blizzard, a
lot of Blizzard. And also PAX East is now 4 days, which is great fun for attendees of PAX East, but for us who need to take off work and all that, like it becomes kind of unmanageable.
Or just, needed to sleep and eat food.
Don't need to do that. Just don't. Just don't even worry about it. Just get rid of it.
Channel your YouTuber.
Yeah, just get your inner YouTuber, just work 24/7. So I was like, ooh, I know, I'll try some other. Now, I've been going to Gen Con for the past few years just to attend. I have a great time there. It's a wonderful convention. I highly recommend it to anyone who's interested in games in general. There's so much stuff there that you can't do anywhere else. It's incredible. And this year I was like, well, what if I tried? Because Gen Con is very open, and a lot of people, I'd say like half the people who go to Gen Con.
Where's Gen Con?
Indianapolis,
right? Where's Indianapolis?
It's somewhere in the
middle. Indiana's one with line.
No, it's not. It's like 3 lines and then a big old rivery wiggle.
Okay, so it's got 3 straight lines and a wiggle.
It's in the Midwest.
I think I know the one you're talking about now. You've described it.
I'm glad you're so.
Well, don't stop me on that Arkansas problem. I only recently discovered you people can't pronounce.
Hold on.
Anyway, back to Gen Con, not about states.
So about half the people at Gen Con are people who they're big into board games, but they don't have not to be negative, they don't have friends. They don't have friends around them who will do this with them. So, and they live somewhere where they have they live somewhere where there's not
you're speaking of the trials of every Mahjong player.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, you might be in an urban area, you might be in a rural area, you don't have a ton of people around. You say, hey, here's a cool board game, and your 5 neighbors are just like, meh. So they come to Gen Con, and so Gen Con has a whole system set up where you can say, hey, here's a game, I'm running it, who's interested? And you can find a huge amount of different stuff you can play. And so I threw Mahjong on the list, instantly sold out. As soon as the event site opened, gone. Tickets were gone. 12 tickets gone. Very enthusiastic. Very great. So we had a good time there. The challenge with Gen Con really is that it's in Indianapolis. It's hard to get stuff there. You can't really be an official exhibitor because it's already full of all the big board game companies doing all their things. So I had a great time. Poor Dwarven Dad, don't diss Arkansas.
No, I'm not just. But isn't it Arkansas and then Arkansas?
It's Arkansas.
Right, okay. No, there's 2 states with those letters next to each other, and one says Arkansas and one says Arkansas.
No, what?
Okay, well that's what I saw on the TV.
Okay,
it was admittedly
for the record.
TV.
I'm gonna put. She's not American. If you couldn't hear, she does not know our ways.
I speak the Queen's English.
No, there is.
Okay, I'm being Kansas. That's it.
There's Kansas,
okay,
which is
that's
Kansas.
It. So why is it Kansas and Arkansas?
Because Arkansas.
Why don't they put a W instead of an S?
Because they didn't, and now we all respect their choices.
No.
I honestly don't. I bet we could look it up. I bet we could learn the history.
I'm just going to point out, you people spell borough. You people.
I don't think you're supposed to say that.
B-O-R-O instead of B-O borough. My friend is looking at me in horror.
B-O-R-O-U-G-H?
Yes, that's how you spell borough, with 5 unnecessary letters. But in America, they spell it B-O-R-O.
Only sometimes.
Yeah, only sometimes.
So Arkansas is a Native American. Yeah, I was going to say a lot of the place names are interesting Native American place names. Interestingly, where I grew up out on Long Island in New York.
Okay, you know what? Okay, I take it back.
Yeah, no, where I grew up out on Long Island, also we had a lot of places that were Native American named, and then have pronunciations that seem odd when you look at them as an English speaker because the letter combinations don't usually go that way, and that's how the people who made those words. Look at me being so politically correct, but that's how the folks who made those words pronounce them, and so we ended up pronouncing them the same way. What are you looking aghast?
I'm hoping for a refill on my non-alcoholic beverage.
Oh, good. Is it tea?
It's people tea.
Always drink tea.
It is. It's tea. my poor. Sorry, my friend is going to be camera shy because we don't want to out her on the internet because the internet's a bad place. But
that she exists and that you have a friend.
Yeah, I do. She doesn't play Mahjong though, but a few more drinks.
I have nothing to add to this conversation.
She has nothing to add apart from abuse to America.
So let me be on top of this. So Gen Con.
Yeah.
Gen Con was cool.
Sorry, back to Gen Con.
Gen Con's cool. If you're interested in going to Gen Con, feel free to ask questions because I have learned a bunch about it by doing it for a few years. It's great. It's a super cool experience if you like board games. You'll find all the newest, hottest games. You get to go out on a football field and play games in the middle of a football field, which is super cool. So good time, good Mahjong. Seemed interested, but probably not going to be our focus next year because after that, now Nick, who is our vice president.
I love Nick. He's so much fun.
He is a fun guy, and he knows a bunch of folks, or he knew a bunch of folks over at Otakon, and he got them to be absolutely wonderful to us and invite us to Otakon to run Mahjong there in their game room for the duration of the convention, and it was very kind to them. They provided us space and tables and everything we needed, except for the Mahjong sets, which we brought ourselves. And so myself and a couple of people trucked on down to Otakon, and we had a very interesting time there, a very positive, very interesting time there. And I say very interesting because it's a very different convention, very different from PAX. And very different from the other things we've done in terms of tone. We did executive notes that we ate a lot of food, and I do have my fun dying of food story that I can tell. But so we went down to Otakon. We also taught a lot of people. We had the space for us. We were in the game room. Everyone was really excited and happy to see.
Hey,
I know it's Greg. I'm trying to use your internet e-name.
Well,
so
he just gave it.
I know it's
now
everyone knows. But no, we taught a lot of people. Had a great time, and Otakon's very interesting because Otakon has a lot of programming that we could participate in. They have a lot more interest in Japanese culture as a whole. I mean, Gen Con's a board gaming convention, so it's not like a Japan-centric convention. Otakon's an anime convention, has a lot more general Japan interest, which means a lot of the more cultural Mahjong things are things people there want to hear about and are really interested in.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of exciting stuff we can do there. Japanese Mahjong. It is risky. It was super risky, but actually no, we had a lot of really excited people and it was great.
Okay, so can I ask you? I'm gonna do a Mahjong news style, expose. Do you really think that you're making new players by going to conventions? Because I've always been a bit of a detractor of the convention going because I'm not yet convinced that for the amount of time, effort, money, all of it, that we actually get enough players out of that.
That is a loaded question to ask me on a live stream that I have to answer now in front of everyone.
Okay, you can answer your most diplomatic answer, but other people are going to be thinking it, not just me.
Science says we cannot tell.
Well, yes, you can. Of course you can. Like, do you have names on a mailing list?
There is still great scientific controversy on the issue. No, I'll give a real answer. I will not guess my way out of this. Kind of.
Yeah.
So my PAX experiences have been that we did meet a few people that ended up becoming regular players at PAX, which was super cool. We did end up becoming a little bit of a fixture and have people come back to the booth year over year. Was it the kind of thing where we met 500 people and got 20 more people at all of our meetups? No, it wasn't. And part of that's because it's far away, right? PAX is in Boston, Gen Con, Indianapolis, Otakon, DC. These are all, Boston and DC aren't wildly far from us, but they're not the closest.
We got Summer QM.
Summer QM, yeah. Came from a convention. Well,
really?
I just
met at the convention. You were always here.
I'm
glad.
There's a few things that I found that I could reliably get out of a convention.
Right, no, if we got Summer QM, that's fine. You're getting the quality.
Good.
We don't need the quantity. We've got the quality.
We need both. But going to a convention and teaching helps people get better at being a teacher. And I think a lot of people learned a lot just from teaching. It does raise awareness, and it does give you the ability to say, hey, my organization was at this major convention as an exhibitor. We're serious. And when you talk to people and you tell them that, suddenly they take you seriously. We did gain some players, and we did gain some people who expect us back again. Like people at Otakon were thrilled. There was a group of Reach players that usually were there, who played just on their own, who were thrilled to see other people doing it, and basically were hanging out and helping us out the whole time, 4 or 5 people.
That's wonderful.
Again, there's positive.
I guess my question then is, now that you're leaving PAX East for obvious reasons, and you taking this opportunity to alter the system you have so that you're more likely to create some new players.
Yes. I think follow up is really important, and we get more follow up with. I think Otacon's going to do better for follow up. I think because it's closer to home. I think PAX Unplugged can do even better for follow up because Philadelphia is very close to New York City. People in Philadelphia, if we meet 20 people in Philadelphia who end up wanting to play, they can actually come regularly to our events without being too crazy.
I did learn from the office that you can drive from Scranton to New York.
You can
in relatively few hours of sitcom time.
It would not be crazy for them to come to a tournament in New York. It would not be crazy for them to come to for a weekend. You know, maybe not every week, but once in a while. Like these.
And that's always the problem with America, right? Like you know, I'm always impressed by just the sheer land mass is just amazing to me. I wish we had that much land mass, but it does.
Well, you did.
You know, unlike the UK, you know, like
lost it.
Yeah. But if there's, we don't know. No, the War of 1812 was just a mishap. Anyway,
could you do that again?
What?
The War of 1812. Could you just burn down DC?
But you have to remember that. We're not doing that again. You have to call in some special favors. Anyway, we've got our own problems. Anyway, so when I talk about, oh my God, I've got to go all the way over there for my tournament in the UK. Like, I'm moaning about having to take a 3-hour train journey.
Well, yeah, that's like me going to Boston, and then it's like if I have to go to Seattle, that is that's like a 5.5 hour flight to get to Seattle. That's a big
at Nighthawk. I am talking about the US office. The UK office is a little distressing. And yes, one proven conversion I'm sold. One lucky day, and Nagara is definitely a thing.
No, I mean, I do think, Philadelphia is going to be a great location for players, to get players. And again, I think doing these conventions really helps people learn. Like, I think everyone on my convention team has become a much better teacher. And that means everyone they meet, they can, like, just teach and do it confidently and easily, and they can really be ambassadors. Which is great. I think the more people you're grimacing pretty intensely.
Well, I'm just looking at XS.
At Greg.
I can't read it because it's on
Greg now.
Greg. Oh, sorry. It's blue on grey, so I can't quite read it. But 3 hours of travel time to and from work.
That's pretty bad.
Greg,
but do you want to sleep on my terrace?
Yeah, like my feeling is that for America, unsolicited advice, but you really need to be getting local groups set up. Like, I'm not sure how you can do that because I've got no good advice for you. Because it does require, to get a local group started, really requires one person to be like obscenely obsessed. Maybe. Do you know what I mean? Like
you need someone to act as the anchor of that group.
Yeah, it's interesting because I set up that group in London, and it's now kind of bubbling on without my intervention. They're setting up house groups and stuff and working amongst themselves, but sometimes I feel like if they hadn't kind of forced the issue with my obsession and said, like, look, let's all meet up here, let's do this, do you want to come, let's play Mahjong, and then once I'd done that and then left, people already had the system, do you know what I mean? And then everyone could work within the system that had already been forced into creation.
Yeah, no,
I'm not sure if I'm blowing my own trumpet too much there, so you can shut me down, people, if you want.
No, if you push to make something happen, people will go along with it. No, it's not in a negative way, but they'll be like, okay, maybe I'll do this, and then they'll end up being like, hey, this is cool, and then maybe they'll keep doing it.
That's true of everything, isn't it? Yeah, like there's some things that I'm like, yeah, I'll go along if you make it happen, but I'm not doing it for you.
So we got a lot of ideas for Otakon for next year. Actually, we want to do some exciting. We need you to come. We need to do panels.
My focus is all on Vienna now.
I know, but we need you to bring folks. We need folks from Japan, to talk about their heyday, the heyday of their youth.
Why don't you invite ex-Kime as well?
I would actually. That'd be really interesting.
I would be really interested, because I've got my experience becoming a pro in Japan, but that of course was through JPML, and I'd be interested to see what his experience becoming a pro was.
I think things like frankly, the American audience will be very curious about things like, how do you relocate your life to Japan? What happens when you get there? How do people treat you as a non-Japanese person? No, you got to be positive about it. Tell them it's all great.
No, I mean, honestly, okay. You want to know how you up your life? You have zero kind of inhibitions, and you go, I'm going to quit my well-paid job at 6 figures and bugger off to Japan and earn nothing. That's how you do it. And it's tragic, but sometimes if you want to live abroad, do something.
Oh, that's true.
You just have to jump and not.
But I think there'd be a ton of interesting questions people would have about the practicals, about the experience, about what kind of barriers did you encounter, how did you overcome them?
Yeah.
Like, these are all things I think it would make a really great panel.
Yeah, it's funny because I did a I don't know if do you remember? I'm not sure. We kind of done a stream since then. So I went to a games convention in France, huge. It basically takes over this whole town of Parthenay. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Now I want to go.
We'll go for Parthenay. And it was beautiful, and it's just, everything was wonderful. Anyway, it was so much fun. But they brought me over to do some panels. So I did a split panel. I did one panel which was basically about my life as a pro, how I became a pro, what it was like to be a pro, like what what's the functionality of me. And then the other part was a strategy part. So I mean, I actually enjoy talking about becoming a pro, because I think there's more misconceptions about what being a professional Mahjong player is than there is about strategy.
Yeah, but again, I think from the uninitiated, from someone on the outside who's just very into Japanese culture, curious about Japanese culture, like you and other people who've gotten involved in the professional scene there have penetrated like a very closed, very Japanese part of that culture. Like you didn't just rent an apartment there and then sit there being like, here I am in Japan. You actually got involved in something that's very, very foreign culturally. And I think, again, that's a story people would want to hear. That's something we want to talk about.
Who would play me in the movie adaptation?
Jennifer Lawrence.
I'll take that.
That was a female celebrity name. I don't.
You don't even know what her face looks like.
I don't actually know.
But yeah, like things like that are interesting. Problem is, like, I don't find it interesting, so I don't talk about it because that would be really cool. Actually, I really like Bette Midler. Anyway,
Julia Roberts. It's got to be Julia Roberts.
Yeah, why not? But yeah, like it's funny because like my life is fairly boring to me because I live it, and of course my life mostly consists of all the stuff that your life consists of falling asleep, eating food, having to deal with all the cruddy paperwork. But I guess there is like these interesting elements that when I step back and think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, only I do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but.
See, that's one panel concept. The other panel concept is, again, you get all the old Japanese pros and you have them talk about, growing up in the Mahjong. Like, what was it like when the Mahjong world was new and fresh and everyone was doing it? It was the hippest thing and it was their youth. Yeah. Something tells me.
That's true. Like the bubble economy of Japan.
You get a bunch of old dudes, no offense to them, but they are older gentlemen, and you ask them, please tell this crowd of rapt people how awesome you were when you were young. And that's like a slam dunk panel. I think people would love to hear it. They probably have a lot of really cool stories.
Yeah, well, you're coming to Japan in November. You can ask.
Oh yeah, we haven't even gotten to that yet.
Well, we can't talk about that until you make my website.
We can't talk about it, but everyone's going to want to know.
They are going to want to know, which is why you have to make the website first.
My God,
it's pretty damn exciting.
She's making me keep a secret.
I know. It's not the world's best kept secret.
It's not the best kept secret. It's a little secret.
It's a little secret, but I think so at the moment, apart from the finances, it's looking quite successful.
Ooh, I like it.
I haven't told the other kids yet because I need to send out an email with the payment details as well.
Oh yeah, I gotta give you money. Do I have to give you money?
You do have to give me money. So I haven't sent out the payment details, so you're not late yet. But even Moriyama has now gotten involved. Before it was just me and.
Is he going to feed us all fugu?
Well, no, I don't know. Me and Misty and I were kind of talking, negotiating, working out what would be best, how best to run this non-specific event. And then Mr. Moriyama just comes in. He's like, "You need to do this, this, and this." And Mr. Mai's like, there was this thing, and I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine. Whatever he said, we'll just do that." But he's right. You know what I mean? Like, when he says it, you're like, "Oh yeah." Oh damn! That man's just so clever.
So I need to bring you my gift. I need to know, what does he like? What does he want? What can I get him as a gift? Because he brought me a gift.
Do you know what? He's so lovely that sometimes I'm kind of sad that he didn't marry one of my friends, because he'd be the perfect best friend's husband.
Really? Is that
good?
Really?
That is, because he's just so helpful, just so nice, just so genuine, and like you've got to see some of the men my best friends have married.
Oh. Oh dear.
my guest star just is glaring at me now. Oh no, we like the new one. We don't like the old one.
Oh
shit, that's why it's the old one.
I would love to give him. I mean, I'll be honest. My encounters with our new world champion, it's Mr. Tomatake, right?
He will always be the first world champion.
He will.
No one will take that from him.
Mr. Tomatake seems very nice, though. He seems like a nice man.
He's very nice, and you know what?
I can't talk badly.
I'm gonna speak, and we're gonna Actually, it's interesting because I haven't had so much of an opportunity to speak to him before he became the world champion, but I knew of him because he is generally regarded as an amazing teacher, and he has a lot of patience. And he's been teaching. There's a lot of these kind of elderly, healthy mahjong groups, and he's been doing that kind of work and stuff.
Oh, that's really cool, actually.
He kind of might be one of those, like, Mr. Yamai wasn't like the most well-known professional in JPML, and then when he won the world title, he had an opportunity to kind of step onto a soapbox and kind of present himself. And we all saw that he had this shining personality, this genuine love for the game. And I really feel that, foreigners, give Mr. Tomatake a few more months and you will see that he is also just this man that a good person.
We had 3 years under Yamai's kindly reign, if I recall.
Exactly. Good guys always finish last in Mahjong. They really do.
I better stop winning.
You better stop winning.
Except at World Championships. No, I did not win World Championships. But okay, so we talked about. Let me see. We talked about Otakon. We can talk about North American Open. Open.
I'm going. I bought my
Gemma's
ticket.
going to be there, so we will have a legitimate.
I had to have a massive argument with British Airways on the phone about it because now British Airways. Well, I don't know if the news hit the American headlines that British Airways had a massive. They're not calling it a data breach. They're not calling it a data hack. They're calling it a data theft. So we all know that means it's an inside job. Anyway,
that's bad.
Yeah, so they've had a lot of, it's none of it's encrypted. They've had, customers' addresses, CVC codes, everything stolen, date of birth, everything stolen, right? So it's been a massive drama here, of course, the world's favorite airline. Ha ha ha. Anyway, so, but I was booking my tickets and I couldn't make my booking because, of course, all credit cards now just blocking any payment to VA. And I had to phone them up, and I was sitting there going, bloody hell, Bresnik better be happy I'm coming after all this bloody drama.
I'm going to have to fly Air Canada to Japan. The non-stop flights are now $2,000. Like, how is this possible?
Oh, you need to talk to your friends because none of your friends are complaining like this. Are you choosing unpopular dates?
I don't know. Maybe I am.
Choose unpopular dates, and then you'll.
What are unpopular dates? I have dates.
Sunday. Sunday is a good.
I can't fly in on Sunday because it starts on the. Okay, well, hold on. We'll talk about this.
No, I organised it so that you could fly on Sunday.
Oh, really?
It was all well planned.
Okay, well, let's talk.
Wait a minute, you're going over the wrong timeline though.
Yeah.
I have to think about it, but yeah. Apparently, Kagaksha says Moriyama did say bad guys are always good at Mahjong last year. So
he knows.
And I'd like to point out that Kagaksha. Oh no, am I doxing him now if I say this? No, everyone knows who he is. He's got his photo on Twitter. It's no problem now. Kagaksha is currently the UK #1. So what does that make of you, Kagaksha?
Not a good guy. Oh, poor guy.
Oh.
No. So yeah, North American Open is going to be happening October 13th, 14th here in...
So how many people have you got coming?
We are around 71, 72 right now.
Are you kidding me?
I am lying. We have 12. No, it's 71, 72. It's legit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have
That's genuinely
big
amazing.
big old group of people.
Because what did you have in the first tournament you had in New York? That was just a New York event, right?
In 2015, we capped out at 40 people, and that was one of the first big tournaments we'd ever run here in North America. It was really the first. And two of those people were Mr. Moriyama and Mr. Yamai, who came to support us, and Gemma, who also came to support us. So that was three of those. That's like 10% foreign guests almost. And so that was really one of the first attempts we made to throw a substantial tournament, and it went great.
Yeah.
And then since then, we really went into like prep for WRC. We've had so much more tournament activity here in North America. We've had a lot more stuff.
That's true.
And now what we're doing with North American Open, we're going to run a big tournament regularly. It's going to be kind of in sequence. It's going to be like
Who is
ERC.
we? Who is we? Is this the royal we again? Or but there's actual people,
royal,
isn't it? This is actual people, right?
No. So this is NARMA, the North American Reach Mahjong Association, an organization we all know and love that has had a few speed bumps in its way, but we're working on making. So what we want to do is we want to make this North American Open a regular North American event, the big event for North America, and it's going to be kind of on the same schedule as like with ERC and WRC. It's going to be like a European Championship one year, a WRC another year, and then a North American the next year. And this year, because we don't really have much qualifier, because we're kind of like everyone come, it's going to be an open. And as we grow, we might end up doing something more like ERC, where we get a little bit more quota and a little bit more structure. But that
ERC
really
started that way as well. You know, it's effectively been an open until the most recent incarnation. You know, depending on your country, of course. But no, I mean that's.
So what that really means is that NARMA is going to end up kind of contracting it out, so to speak. So the idea is it's NARMA's event, and then a club within North America will be chosen to host it for that iteration. And so our idea is we're going to build this event up, and we're going to let it be passed around from club to club to club, and many people can get a chance to have the opportunity to show off their club, show off where they are, who they are, and host themselves in NAO. And a little bit like ERC, we're hoping people throw a little bit of local flavor into it. You know, we can have some Lederhosen and some.
You mean Lederhosen?
There's been a lot of exciting European championships.
The UK failed a little bit on.
Really?
Yeah, the UK failed a bit on like some English. I'm not sure what
didn't you have
English
rain?
culture we can give you.
You had rain and some not so great food.
We did, yeah.
The true measure of England. It was some rain and some not so great food.
And we offered you tea on a regular basis.
And I got to meet the mayor, and that was the best part of it all.
So if someone was interested, if the club were interested in hosting the next North American Open, how would they go about preparing their bid to host such?
Well, I mean, honestly, right now we're not even thinking about bids for the next one, just because we're getting this one knocked out. And we got a bunch of work to do, but. What we will be doing is we'll be speaking to people about NARMA membership by getting your club on our list and enrolled as a member. We're going to be offering some services to clubs to help them get started, to help them get their
What does being a member mean? Like when you say enrolled, do they have to pay a subscription?
No,
or
as of now, there is no fee, because basically we are going to be rolling out services, and at that point we might start considering charging something of a very nominal, like $5 or $10 a year level fee.
Yeah, I think the UKMA technically does that. It's like £1 to join.
The issue is not really to like.
It's more about your constitution, your statutes,
it's just something to indicate that you give a crap enough about being a member to give us $5 a
nominal
year.
Amount,
incredibly nominal. Right now, really, membership is just based on saying I'd like to be a member. And what membership usually entails is there'll be certain things, for example, qualifiers for events like WRC, or for the American contingent to the ERC, or for the International Online Championship. All of those things are run by NARMA. So if
someone was sitting there now, they're watching this through YouTube or Twitch or wherever, how would they go about becoming a member right the second? Because they may not want to wait until.
They might not want to wait
a full month.
Let me see. If you go to naricci.org, which has a big NAO ad on it right now, and you go to the contact page, you can send us an email. And you can send that email, I'm interested in membership in NARMA, and we will receive it, and we'll get right back in touch with you as soon as possible to say, hey, here's the things we need. And generally what we need is, if you're running a club, if you want your club to be recognized by us, tell us where you are. We need a person of contact. Again, this isn't like a big deal, but just if we send out an email to all clubs, we want to know where to send it.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all we need to at least register you. In terms of running events, as we have events that are available, we will mail clubs saying, hey, this is a type of event you can run. This is a thing that's happening. We have WRC qualifiers going on. If you want to run a WRC qualifier, talk to us. And what we've ended up doing in the past is we've come up with kind of a spec. So we've been like, if you want to run a WRC qualifier, your tournament has to look like this. It has to be WRC rule set. This is all that specific example, but it has to be WRC rule set. Has to have this kind of structure. And if you can abide by that spec, then you're doing great by us.
I want to put a call out to Luke and Edwin at this point, because they're the ones who really worked on this.
Yes. Oh yeah, Luke from Rochester and Edwin from Seattle have done a ton of work on those documents.
So I only say that because they're also little WRC children. Luke and Edwin both, but Luke in particular, because he was also a ref. If you remember our two refs, Luke and Donnie. Luke was a ref, but Edwin also did a fine amount of work.
We have a lot of people with a lot of tournament organizing experience, which is also great.
You really do, actually. It's interesting because, when I started playing European tournaments, it was a lot of people just kind of feeling their way in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting how the Americans have approached it, and they've gone kind of like, how do we make this
we had a lot of help from
standardized
Europe, frankly. Like my attends European events and bring other people to European events, and seeing the amassed knowledge from those events gave us a picture of what an event should look like. And if you go through the history, a lot of our early events were really strongly modeled on those European events because that's what we'd seen run, and we knew how it should do and what should function. And we got some experience from those, and then started branching out a little more into things that were more unique and more American, more suited to our local environments.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be doing...
EMA's done. I'm tooting EMA's horn because it's partly my horn. But it's interesting though. This. And I think that America might do something interesting, and EMA might look and go, oh, that was interesting. Let's import that into.
I think as we get
that's
more
the wonder of international modern globalization.
There'll be more cross pollination back also once we start developing things that are worth sharing back. I think that's definitely a real thing. But we're going to be, NARMA's going to be doing more in the next year. After North American Open is going to be our big event, and then we're going to start working with another club basically to get them ready to do the next one in a few years. Hopefully we'll be growing it numerically. I'm betting we can go from 80 to 100 at this point, or at least cap out at 80 at 100. If we got 3 years of lead time, I think we can make it. I think we can grow the player base and get everything done, because we've seen, again, huge growth. We doubled this event, if you think about it, from 2015 to 2018.
Well, these are not the same events, though.
It's not the same event,
quite the same
but
event,
the big tournament. I'll call it the big tournament.
The big event, yeah.
The big tournament of the year went from 40 to 80, and I think that we could go from 80 to 100 in 3 years.
We should also do a quick shout out now to, so there's some other events in America happening, or just one event happening. Did Montreal happen already?
Montreal has not happened yet.
I know that's not America, that's North America. That's North America.
And count.
They're North America, that's not America. Oh, it's the Americas. Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's Canada.
Canada
is in North America. The Americas is North and South America.
Right, so what is America?
A nebulous concept that oftentimes people are not thrilled with one's definition of.
Exactly. Okay. So Canada, let's just say
I would
Canada.
say usually when people say America on its own, they mean the United States. Most often you would assume that they are implying that. Look at me, I'm being very politically correct here to not alienate.
You know what? I'm going to say something awful, and I apologize to all Irish people watching, but I suspect when people say the UK, they only mean this island of
they
the
often
UK,
don't quite fully
and they probably
understand
forget.
the differences.
No, I mean, the amount of times I have to explain what the British Isles and United Kingdom and England and all of those things actually mean, it's tiresome. Anyway.
Just come up with names for things that make sense. Like, I don't know, man.
What was that? Kansas and Arkansas?
That totally makes sense. It's 2 different words and they're pronounced differently. I'm going to stand up for Arkansas there. And Kansas together.
I'm not making judgment on who was wrong and who was right, but it's crazy.
So I think that, the only other event is a PML Open in November as of now.
PML Open, yeah.
PML Open in November.
But I'm
not sure if that's full yet.
Is that your? I don't think it's full. I saw them advertising, but on Facebook. If you go to their Facebook page, or I think they're doing it on Eventbrite, so you can easily find there. But it's on President's Weekend or something.
I believe, I'm not sure if November 10th and 11th might be a holiday weekend.
I think it's hilarious that you have a President's Weekend, because we do not have a Prime Minister Weekend. We try to forget those people.
Oh, wow. That's rude.
The Prime Minister? Screw those people.
November 10th and 11th, it's Veterans Day. Veterans Day.
Veterans Day.
We all respect those people. Thank you very much.
Well, of course we do. I would not want to be a veteran. That's, that's
there's a North London. Where's the North London Open in early November?
It's in the north of London.
Well, I just saw.
I'm the referee. So if you want to turn, I am. If you want a hilarious time, that's the event to go to. I cannot wait to wield my ref baton. You shouldn't.
Oh.
No. I'm going to say now that I have the organizer, Michael Donaghy, is. I don't want to say he's my fiercest critic, because he's not a critic as such, but we often disagree on a lot of aspects of Mahjong rules, Mahjong conventions and stuff, and he often, he
holds you to a high standard, maybe is a nice way to say it.
No. He balances me. He makes me really consider why I think that a thing should be this way. And so I'm, at the moment, I will be as well in the future. I'm really enjoying, this kind of working with him and the debates we have about using, scoring sheets versus using point sticks, and, really hearing someone telling me, because the problem is sometimes I'm just a loudmouth and I storm in and I say, "We're going to do this." Everyone goes, "Oh my god, it's Gemma." Just do it, otherwise she'll get angry. Whereas Michael Donahue really pushes back, and I love it. Yeah,
a ref gets a whistle. Good. Yeah, we should get you a whistle. You can blow this whistle.
I think I need something a bit more British, so air raid siren.
Oh, what about the British constable whistle thing that everyone?
Oh yes, can I get a hat?
You can have a hat.
Be a bobby and have a baton and hit people who touch the tiles with both hands.
I love how you go straight to physical violence. There's no it's not yelling at you.
I'm correct. It's a truncheon. Yeah. It's a truncheon. Sorry, guys. So can I hit people?
Yes. No, you know what? Go ahead. I'm not gonna.
You're not going to be there, so it's fine.
I'm not going to be there. It doesn't matter. So, that's what's going on. We're expecting I got to figure out when the international online competition is, because
it's November 5th, because it's bonfire night for us.
Ah. So what are you playing?
Unfortunately, the UK are not fielding a team this year.
Why not?
Because of the North London Open. Unfortunately.
Oh, it's right after. Oh dear.
Yeah, we just didn't have enough players to create a team.
Well, you know what we should do? We should cover it. We should cover.
Well, I'll be reffing. You do realize that.
How do you ref?
I know I'm reffing the North London.
Oh.
The North London. So I'm pretty sure it's on that weekend.
It might be. Well, I'll take a look.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing that, then I'm covering it. Forget you guys. I'll do coverage of it.
You should cover it for sure.
We got the cover. No, we got a U.S. team in there. We're excited.
What your U.S. team is? DDR Dan, Korak.
I have to look it up. I don't know our U.S. team. That's bad of me.
Tina Desio, and I can't remember your fourth person. Oh, I'm so sorry. I can look it up though.
We have to look it up.
I do. It's a strong team this year, though. It really is.
Yeah. Oh, Korak. I watched Korak. Korak plays in the quickfire tournaments.
Yeah.
And Korak has a pretty solid record.
I know. It was interesting. So, Korak, I hope you're listening to this, because you should know this. But I was chatting on a private sub-channel in Discord with some people, and they were like, "You should watch that guy." And I was like, I didn't know who he was. No offense, because I don't hang out in the main Discord Mahjong channel, so I wasn't really aware of his name so much. But then they were like, "Oh!" So I sat up and paid a little bit more attention, and I was looking. I was like,
Strong record.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm quite excited about that as well.
And it's great. I joke now. Like I'm old now. I don't have to play Mahjong anymore. I can just I coach and comment. Now. Like I have the street cred needed to be like, oh, that's good, or oh, that's bad, but I don't have to actually play.
Well, I don't have that cred, but yeah.
No, he was getting some good results. Some very good results. So it's an exciting team to be sending into that event.
Yuki Tora is the fourth member.
Yuki Tora.
I don't know Yuki Tora. I'm looking forward to knowing more of Yuki Tora. But yeah, Tina Desio, Korak, DDR Dan. Tina Desio and DDR Dan. I know those two players. I've seen that. I've followed them a bit more, so I'm aware of their excellence. And then Korak, obviously, gossip precedes the man.
Rumor is.
Well, I don't know if it's a man. Sorry. Rumor gossip precedes the human. The human. We'll presume they're human. Yuki Tora, I don't know. So impress me.
That is good. Right. That is good news. So yeah, IORMC we're going to cover. It's going to be really cool. We'll see if we can get some cool, exciting stuff. So we've been people like, oh, spill the secret. Can we say a little bit? Can we say like a tiny thing?
What do you want to say? What does it look like?
I mean, like a thing where people are going to go to a place. Can we say that much?
Yeah.
I mean, you're the one who has the right of refusal, so I don't want to like.
Oh, so in gossiping a little bit, like the people about getting people out to Japan and giving them some experiences that they wouldn't necessarily be able to have. Giving them the kinds of experiences I have, basically.
So we're gonna make them eat natto.
No, we'll never make them eat natto. I'm not evil. Mahjong experiences that I've had that maybe it would be difficult to access as an outsider. So I am hoping that I can open up some of those experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Invite people to study Mahjong.
Oh, some kind of positive Mahjong experience. Now, we all know this is a clear fraud because there's no such thing as a positive Mahjong experience. But
already a mis-selling scandal. I haven't started yet.
Yeah, no, I see. So
Yeah,
expect
I mean,
to hear a little more.
It's really not secret, but because we're kind of in a beta test. I don't want to say a beta test because it's a real life thing. It's not a bloody MMO. But we're having a little test this year with some of my critics, funnily enough, and then the main aim then is to make it open so that anyone can join,
can participate. Yeah,
participate. And unfortunately, there's always going to be a obstacle of airfares. I can't stop that.
Right. Yeah. Well, there's life, but what I will
I'm
tell
afraid
people is,
I hate capitalism too, but yet it trundles on.
No, what I would definitely say to people is, if you don't feel like you've missed out. No, because the overall intention is to be very public about this stuff. Yeah. It's just this is the working.
Actually,
get a website up. We're going to talk more about it.
The test one is maybe it's maybe not the best one to go on. Sorry for those. No, I mean it's always difficult, because the test one, there's going to be some things which are better and some things that are worse before it can be turned into something that's a little bit more manageable. And that's why it's kind of stayed as a more kind of closed invite with people who have been recommended, who I really know of and trust, who will give me all the negatives. Basically, that's why I say my critics. Yeah,
well, give me the negatives without like freaking out at you or feeling bad about it if something went right.
No, exactly. Exactly, which is always it's always the problem. And you see that I mean, I think people probably hope people find it easier to come to me and say this didn't work very well. This could have been better, Gemma, because I try to make myself available for those kinds of negative feedback. But yeah, it's difficult. You don't. People do. I know people do think about my feelings sometimes.
But in all of this incredibly vague indirect talk is possibly the best sales pitch we could put forward. It is an exciting Mahjong experience. It's going to be happening. And the hope is to be able to make it generally available so that lots of people can have an exciting Mahjong experience.
And also, I don't want to let Dave tell people until he's made my website, because then I lose my cards.
That's true. I really need
Dave to make me my website, because important. I can't do it. You know what, the WRC website is the limit of my capabilities. It really genuinely is the limit,
We'll get it done. We'll get it done.
So
there will be a website, so people will see the details. But yeah, it's an exciting experience, and stay tuned.
In the end, I hope to make myself unspecial.
Unspecial? But you're very special. You're special.
No, I was just saying I want to open up my experiences to more people, so it's no longer Gemma who knows this and knows that, and everyone knows this and that. And then
there's only one experience that I feel very upset that you gate kept from me for so long.
I would like to know what that was.
Those pony burgers.
We're going to have PETA on my door if we're not careful. They're doxing us now as we speak.
You could have told me that they were so delicious.
It's like beef, but low fat, right? I don't really know. No. Okay, I just want to qualify to people that we're not eating ponies as such. So I live in an area where we have a serious problem with the pony breeds, and to make it so that they can have the money to maintain the breed, and they can't just let I live on a national park, right? Basically, so they have a lot of these ponies, and they run wild, and they breed, and they do all the things they do. But you need to be able to manage these animals, otherwise, they're not native to the moors, obviously, so they need to be a little bit managed.
Invasive ponies.
But the thing is, you have to go to the store, right? And you're like, do you have any of the pony meat? And they're like, yes, and they bring it out of this secret little freezer. But it is delicious. I can tell you it's delicious. But when you tell people, sometimes they're like, did you eat my pet pony? I'm like, no, we're not eating your pets. Like,
maybe you're not. I'll eat whatever pony I can get.
These are wild animals. The thing is, they've got to slaughter them no matter what, for various reasons, to maintain the breed, to maintain the stock, to make sure that they stay healthy. And the option is they burn the meat or they give it to the dogs.
Or me. They give it to me.
Or to Bresnik. So it's, I'm one of those people, like, if it has to go, it has to go. Why waste it? Wasting it is a far worse situation,
Better to make use of it.
If you're a vegan or vegetarian, I'm sorry. Well,
honestly, I feel like if you're a vegan or vegetarian, this is still better, because I feel like a lot of times, and I don't want to speak for anyone, but I feel like a lot of times the vegans and the vegetarians, one of their big problems is like factory farming and the animal cruelty.
Yeah, exactly. So dark shops, we actually slaughter them to make sure them healthy. They slaughter them to make sure that the
population
healthy,
as a whole is healthy.
It's,
so like these animals,
you don't want these animals, like
Yeah, but they're not like treated cruelly and kept in a cube made of steel and never see the sun, and then like
they get to spend all their time running around on the moors and
pooping everywhere. Let me tell you that about the moor. There's poop. These animals do not have any sense of decency.
And, we talk about all of the carbon stuff. In the end, coming from a farming area, you do actually need animals to graze, unfortunately, whether they graze and they replenish the soil, and it's all part of this nature. And we're not it's better than getting our lamb and stuff from New Zealand, for example, which is where
you have to ship it.
Ship it, or we get beef from America. Well, we don't get beef from America because of course we don't allow it, because it's
great. Too good for you people?
Full of antibiotics.
Oh,
full of antibiotics.
We call that flavor.
Right, but so it's about, rather than hightailing meat across the world, what you're doing is you're getting a local sustainable.
Local food is good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of sustainability and locality, and not eating avocados.
Why don't you eat avocados now? Is it because they come
I am a
away?
millennial.
Oh, you got to have avocado toast.
Big talk from the country of mad cow disease. And the foot and mouth. Don't forget the foot and mouth.
Oh, God. All right. So I think, have we covered all the Mahjong news?
I think we've covered all the Mahjong news, and I think maybe we should, before we start
getting into a global health
the politics
crisis.
Of agriculture.
About 25 years ago.
Yeah. My guest star says, that was 24 years ago!
Oh, dear. That was too long ago. It's invalid.
But yeah, no, that was a long time ago. It's true.
It was a while ago.
And our meat is still probably better than antibiotic meat.
I mean, it tasted good when I was there. Yeah. But unfortunately, there people asking, I don't think you can bring pony meat to the U.S. because it will end up being
A lot can say about farming.
My guest star is about to start an argument about farming.
Oh dear, no, I don't want to get.
She knows a lot, She's also a little bit of a farm girl and likes riding ponies.
Yeah, I'm happy to eat them.
And she's happy to eat them.
Good.
Used to compete for the county.
You used to compete eating for the county of pony riding?
Eventing.
Oh no, she used to do what kind of pony riding? Like actual, the show jumping.
Ooh.
There you go. I know my friend's a little bit of a higher class than me. If you hadn't noticed,
sorry.
My parents just sent me off to 12 Men's More to learn how to be a farm girl. Whereas my friend was show jumping.
And I grew up on a small holding.
But she grew up in small holding.
Alon should know that the maddest cows. America's home of the maddest cows. No, our cows don't get mad. They just get even.
I'm one of the maddest cows, bitches.
And with that,
I would like another non-alcoholic beverage.
And with that, thank you all for watching.
Of iced tea.
And we're going to try to be back next week and more regularly so that we can keep up with the Mahjong news and maybe even play some Mahjong and do some stuff like that.
Yes, I'm sorry we didn't play any Mahjong. We didn't really do a talk through. Next time we should do a talk through.
We'll do more Mahjong. We had a lot of news and updates.
I haven't seen your face even for a long time. Me and Dave have been a bit slow on catching up with each other. We needed a break after WRC. Lots of tears were had, but
a lot of tears.
Okay, so
around the whole world, it was crazy. All right.
Thank you very much. I will.
So thanks everybody. We will see you next week.
Maybe, probably, likely.
Probably. We'll say something. You'll know.
Yeah.
We'll let you know, but probably because we're going to be back. We're going to do more Mahjong. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good
afternoon. Bye.
Now it's outro music time where we sing our.
God. We still haven't got an outro music.
We don't have. I wanted to make out. We have an outro argument. Outrogrement is what we have. An outro argument.
That's how we leave.
We just bicker until we're done with everything, and then it's.